Hi, my name is Keith Nitka. I'm the Battleship Operations Manager here at Nauticus on board the Battleship Wisconsin. And I want to thank you for joining me today on our Whiskey Wednesday virtual adventure. Today we're going to talk about the ship's silver service set. In the turn of the century, last century, it was very common for states to have silver service sets commissioned and built, so to speak, for their state ship. Battleships were named after states at the time. The state of Wisconsin was no different, and the first Battleship Wisconsin, BB-9, was being built. The state of Wisconsin commissioned a silver service set for that ship. The set was comprised of 2 punch bowls, 24 cups, a fruit bowl, 2 candelabras, a very elaborate centerpiece, and ladles to go with the punch bowls. The silver service set was put on board the ship when she was commissioned in 1901, and she stayed in place until 1920, when the ship was then decommissioned. When Battleship Wisconsin BB-9 was decommissioned, the silver service was moved around from different ships to use at the time, or it was housed at the State Historical Society in Wisconsin. Fast forward to 1943. The new BB-64 Battleship Wisconsin is under construction in Philadelphia, and the state of Wisconsin decided once again to commission a refurbishment of the original silver set and also to add to that silver set. What they added to that silver set was a coffee and tea set. One of the pieces I have here is one of the larger coffee pots that is original to the 1943 commissioning of the ship. This is part of the second set, and the amount of money that the state of Wisconsin spent was $7,500 at this point in time. Now, because of the war going on, the silver service was not sent directly to the ship, which was a smart thing to do just in case, and it stayed housed in the state capitol for folks to see there. Upon the war's end in 1945, a committee of members of the state legislature traveled with the silver service to the Wisconsin in San Francisco, and the silver service was placed on board the ship at that time until its decommissioning in 1948. Between 1948 and 1952, again, when she was decommissioned, it spent some time on one other ship, and it also spent time housed at the state capitol. And then for her commissioning in 1952, it was back on board the battleship until 1958, her decommissioning again. And then between 1958 and 1988, the silver service sat in the state capitol of Wisconsin. In 1988, for the battleship's final recommissioning, the silver service set was cleaned up and it was sent to Battleship Wisconsin, where a special display case was constructed specifically for the silver service. And it allowed the crew members and also visiting guests to see the silver on display in the ship's wardroom. In 1991, when Battleship Wisconsin was decommissioned for the final time, the silver service was moved to the state capitol again, and the State Historical Society of Wisconsin displayed it there until Battleship Wisconsin was moved here to Nauticus. And at that point in time, the silver was then sent here to Nauticus, and it is now controlled by the Hampton Roads Naval Museum. I want to thank you all for joining us today, and I urge you to visit us here at the Battleship Wisconsin in Nauticus.